like, you know, obviously I do have sex for work, so there's a lot more that goes into it. It's not just some like random one night stand hookup, or, you know, we get tested, we have like extensive boundary and consent talks. Yeah, like there's like a whole thing to it, right? So if I'm gonna have have sex with someone in my personal life, they also need to, for my safety, the safety of my coworkers, and for them as well, have those same standards of testing. And on top of that, I do have herpes, and that's something that I obviously want to tell someone ahead of time before doing anything sexual with them. I want them to have all of the knowledge and have
downstairs.
Huh?
Downstairs.
Brian's voice here right now is priceless. Downstairs? You have it downstairs?
Both, yes.
Okay. Have you told the guy who you've been dating for 4 months?
Mm-hmm.
He knows?
Yeah.
I have no idea what would ever possess a man to date a woman with this condition. Unless he already has it himself, which it still kind of sounds like from context that he doesn't. But if I were in his shoes, I don't care how nice she seems, that would be an instantaneous deal breaker for me, personally.
But like that's the thing. I want those people to be able to know, have the
All right.
information about herpes, and be able to make an informed decision on what, if they would like to or not. Because
Can I ask you a question? Do you think you got it on set?
well, I know for a fact that like I said earlier, I got cold sores, HSV1, on my lips and stuff from
when you were like
chapstick.
younger,
like when
or
I was a little,
something.
I was
Yeah.
in like kindergarten.
I'm so glad I don't have cold sores either.
I do think I got it on my vagina because of the porn industry, because of how little it's talked about.
Sure.
You know, because we don't test for it, but people don't tell you that.
Remember this moment whenever some liberal tries to tell you that porn is all sunshine and roses, and the men and women that make it are all perfectly safe and rational actors.
You know, and they don't say, hey, I have herpes, I don't have an active outbreak, we're shooting this scene. Your agents don't tell you, directors don't tell you. And when you're young and inexperienced and you don't know the right questions to ask, you don't know. And for me personally, I thought I had just had a rip or a cut or something, and a director actually looked and was like, oh, you have a herpes outbreak. And I had no idea.
Can you still be in the industry if you have like...
So, yes. So they don't test. So the reason why they don't test...
It's not even that, like, even if you don't test, but like you said, a director saw, and like, so it's not just you were not disclosing, they know. Do you disclose to the people you shoot with that?
It's not really talked about, but
You don't disclose?
You don't tell them?
It's like, see, I know. It's like a really weird thing, right?
Weird? No, that's criminal.
I don't think that's criminal. It's something that
No,
you
it
It's
definitely
literally
is.
criminal.
No, I
yes,
think
it's criminal.
something that like you accept when
I mean, whoever she was shooting with didn't tell her. She's trying to act like it's no big deal. The guy who was checking her out, or whoever who was like, oh yeah, you have herpes, she didn't deliver that story in a way that made it sound like he was particularly shocked by it. He just kind of knew it on sight. Wasn't like, that looks bad. You should probably go see a doctor. He was like, oh yeah, you just have herpes. No big deal. I mean, part of how stuff like this gets normalized, how an industry like this gets normalized, generally speaking, is just that people convince themselves that acts and behavior like this are fine. And then they act like the consequences of behaving in this manner are no big deal.
you get in the industry, though, like, you know that people are going to
True.
have
So-
STDs.
Oh, I get it. So you're saying that they're taking that, like, they already know when they get into it. So
But
that's
no,
kind of true.
it's not. I still think that
Even
like,
if-
people have a responsibility to make people aware when they have an active outbreak. Like, I had a scene with a performer, and they canceled same day because they had an active outbreak. And, like, no harm, no foul. And I work with
And
them
that
again
happens all the
when
time.
the outbreak is
I mean,
gone.
honestly, it's kind of like amazing to me though that there are people in the industry like once shouldn't you just be out excised of
Like
the
done.
industry if you have like if you have HIV, right, you're done, right?
Right. Okay.
Shouldn't it be the same with herpes?
Well, so
I don't think so.
with
I mean,
herpes,
it's not as bad.
It would destroy the
but-
industry. That's why they don't do it. They would have no
well,
job.
kind of. So
What do you mean, kinda? Yes or no?
with herpes, it's not always sexually transmitted. Like I had said with the thing about the chapstick, I had that since I was a child, and that had nothing to
That's
do with
irrelevant
sex
though.
at all.
But if
well,
your
but let me
if your
finish.
work
Let me finish.
if your work is sex, then
Right, but let me finish. So, because it's not something that is inherently sexually transmitted, like...
But it is sexually transmitted.
But I got it from chapstick.
HSV1 and HSV2 are not the same virus. Don't play with us. You know they're different. Stop acting like it's the same thing. One of these is a cold sore. The other one is way more painful and occurs on your genitals. Come on.
But you got
You
the other
said
one
you
from
had
sex, though.
it.
You had type 2
Genital
herpes on your
herpes.
vaginas from sex.
Yeah, but
not
I had
chapstick.
herpes before I ever had
But
it on
you would have
my
never
genitals.
gotten it to get on your
Yo,
genitals
this
from
is
your
some
lips
hamster
to your
wheel
genitals.
And
You
that
like that?
totally could have happened.
You can't reach down there.
Actually, that totally could have
What
happened.
about having unprotected sex
No.
with
Wait,
a
so you're
alien
saying-
who has
but
herpes?
You're saying you
Hold
can
on.
give yourself type 2 herpes on your vagina from your mouth?
No, but you
No, no,
can give
okay,
yourself
but
HSV1 on your genitals.
Is the argument that
You can get HSV1 on your genitals? Ew.
you're saying because there are other vectors with which you can get herpes, because of that, it's not as...
No. So the reason why the industry doesn't test for it is because when they were deciding whether or not they were going to test for HSV, one, the testing is hard and it's not wildly accurate. Most places will test. If you have an outbreak, they will swab it. But if you don't have an active outbreak, a lot of places won't even test you.
But you're telling me that you confirmed, I don't know, did you take a test?
No.
But you know you have it?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's pretty, like, the outbreak, whatever. You know you have it. Molly says that she was about to do a scene with a guy who knows he has it, who had an outbreak, so he canceled the scene. I suppose that's nice of him. It's shocking to me that you would continue working in the adult industry, risking other men and women. But so when did you became, you got herpes, how far into the industry? Your first year in?
Yeah.
First month?
No, I think...
First couple months?
Yeah, I started right before COVID, though. So it was like I started in January, and then COVID happened in March. And then I would say I found out maybe around July or August.
So in the 6-month period after starting adult work, you got genital herpes?
Yes.
Send the asteroid. Society is over, as they say. It really is a shame in our society that we just allow an industry like this to continue to exist. I mean, it is the porn industry directly that we're talking about, so obviously it continues to exist on the basis that millions, if not tens or hundreds of millions of people in this country have porn addictions. And porn addictions are driven by self-loathing and in turn cause more self-loathing. And the fact that we can't admit this to ourselves as a society, or we make excuses for it and rationalize it away with some sort of libertarian argument, saying that it's free speech and this is all voluntary action, is going to lead to ever more serious psychological problems for America as a collective and physical health problems. As in the case of this young woman who is now riddled with STDs on account of her poor decision making.
And you've continued working for another period of 3.5 years, right? You said you've
Right.
been working total 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it's just in the industry, if you have a confirmed case, that doesn't bar you from shooting?
It's people don't shoot when they have active outbreaks, but like I was saying, the reason why they didn't add in HSV testing is because the tests aren't necessarily accurate, and if
But
they
it's-
did
don't
that,
worry
they
about
would
the
have to
testing.
Yeah, that's not what he
separate.
asked.
Don't worry
Let me
about,
finish. But they
we
would
already
have
said
to,
that.
Hold on. Don't worry about the testing. You have a 100% confirmed case of herpes. You need not be tested. You have herpes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You are shooting scenes with men, women.
Yes.
Do you not have, like, do you not have a concern about continuing to spread this disease?
Well, I would never work with an active outbreak of blister.
Herpes can also be spread if you do not have an active outbreak. If I were there, I would tell this lady this does not make it any better. She is still gross and nasty.
But
You can
before like a full-blown outbreak, there's like it's
called shedding.
She knows all the terms. It's called shedding. by the way. I'm shedding right now. What are you, a larva?
Yeah, you're shedding before. So you could do a scene when you're shedding
I mean,
or afterwards.
for me personally, I can tell when I'm going to get an outbreak and I just won't work. But
No, you.
Well,
you
it's
can't,
clearly,
though.
I mean, within 6 months of starting in the industry, you got it. So it's clear that the women or the men in this industry are not, like, even if you're not having sex during an active outbreak, you are.
there is a very
There-
low chance that it is transmissible, yes.
But she's screwing tons of people, like every week. The rationalizations here are unbelievable.
You got it within 6 months of working in the industry.
And you think that's low, and you're taking that chance to give it to other people without disclosing them? Why do you think that's right?
I never said that.
No, but you're doing it, so why are you doing it?
Because it's my fucking job, girl. I got bills to pay.
People want to talk about materialism. This is materialism. She's got bills to pay, so that's why she does this. She could do literally anything else. It's probably better to work at McDonald's than to do this, but because she wants fast money, she wants to live a certain lifestyle, she's willing to not only contract herpes, but give other people herpes. Not to mention having videos of her getting railed all over the internet by different dudes. And somehow some guy is still willing to date her. I mean, it shouldn't be surprising that whatever simp who's willing to date this woman is fine with the fact that she has herpes, because at that point, like, you know, he's probably one of her fans, and what sort of standards can you even have if you're willing to date one of these women?
Are you gonna pay my
So
bills?
it's just right to just give people a disease?
No, and I never said that. But
I hope they sue you.
They won't, because that's just what people accept when they go into this industry.
Do you
She's
not?
not giving
but
people
you
the
don't.
least
She's taking the
Wait,
active
Did she give you herpes?
precaution.
Wait,
no,
question.
I don't
Do-
have
Didn't
herpes.
you guys-
And I fucked her like twice.
I know, you guys all fucked, right?
You guys said you guys all fucked.
So,
Wait, can you?
Raven DT
Oh, okay.
donated $69. I am not a lawyer, but for the record, knowing you have an STD/STI and not informing a partner about it and then proceeding to have sex with them anyway is considered sexual battery. Please see California Penal Code Section 243.4a.
I remember California passing a law that was kind of related to this. I don't know how far a person will get trying to prosecute these situations in this state.
thank you,
So
Raven.
congratulations, you've committed sexual battery, and you're not going to convince anybody else that it's your. Oh, but according to me, but when I do it, no, it's wrong either way.
Never said that it was right.
Wait, do you not disclose to? Let's say you're not having an outbreak. Do you tell the people that you're working with that you have herpes? You say
If they ask, for sure. But it's
you don't. You don't say.
nobody ever
That's what
asks.
disclosing means. Disclosing means you don't have to ask. It means you
ask.
disclose the information without the other party asking.
Butler donated $69. There are multiple court cases involving million-dollar settlements for genital herpes transmissions without disclosure. 70% of cases spread through asymptomatic viral shedding, no symptoms. A Western blot test is very accurate. Layla and Molly take the test.
I've taken the herpes test and I don't have herpes, so
Same as well.
I took it right out. I got it out of porn, so.
Well, when was
Molly,
your last
do you
shoot?
have-
No, I don't have
When I got out of
herpes.
porn,
But
I took my test, and that
Oh.
was like.
Bond donated $69.
Anyway, that was a bracing segment on the Whatever podcast. Never trust a woman who's a petri dish. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please share this video if you really liked it. That is the #1 way you can help me grow this channel. Man, this is gross. You know, there's a lot of talk of how the dating market is so messed up and blah blah blah, but it usually these conversations do not invoke the actual nastiness of getting infections, which they probably should. I think a lot of people would think twice if they were reminded of that there was a chance that they could get herpes or some other worse thing before they slept with whoever. But anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and Red Channels will catch you in the next one.